You're talking about America and that. Did you see the August Alsina thing? Did you watch that?
Listen, I watched it yesterday.
Serious?
He was in his feelings, man.
Seriously? Oh wait. Firstly, obviously, we got Denise from Pretty Privileged podcast
Hi.
here. Go on. Yeah. We'll talk about you in a bit so that people know you and that. But yeah, go on. Sorry, you watched it?
Yeah. Honestly, because obviously everyone just saw the clip, innit?
Yeah.
But there's actually like a proper 45-minute.
Yeah. What is it?
Interview.
Hour?
Yeah, an hour. It's quite long. Obviously, when I saw the clip, I was thinking, no, you didn't. Then she denied it though, so that's what made me actually.
What?
She put out
Shaggy.
her team put out something saying that it never happened.
Listen, it happened.
It happened. To me, it happened.
So
That's what made me go watch it even more.
Let me just give context for people who might not know what we're talking about. Yeah. So, like August Alsina, he's an R&B singer or whatever. Yeah. There was always rumors. Yeah. I don't know if you heard these rumors from before, where like Jada Pinkett, who's the wife of Will Smith, was doing a thing with him, yeah? But like, even before that, there's always been these conversations of them having an open relationship. Mm-hmm. Do you get me? So then, like, no one really knew exactly what was happening, but he came out in this interview and was basically like, the way that I took it, yeah? At first, I'm not going to lie to you, I thought what he did was a bit mad.
It is.
I felt like it was a bit mad.
August Alsina.
Yeah.
Just coming out like that, innit?
Like, obviously, we joke about the chatty patty thing and that, yeah, but I just felt like, I don't know, he came out and said, Will gave me his blessing.
I know. Oh. Ew, man.
What? Yeah,
Literally.
He said, Will gave me, I sat down with Will.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Not even added the Smith, just Will.
I'm looking at Will left. Like,
yeah.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, yeah? This whole thing, like my blood boils, bro. It's boiling right now. Just because Jada, and set it off, cool, I fucked with her.
Yeah.
But then I've realised over the years, you're tapped. You are tapped. Because how are you making... This is big Will Smith. And obviously it's not the same Will Smith that it was in Fresh Prince, because I don't think he would have had it. He was the wave in Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
But somehow she has completely spun him.
Yeah.
Turned him to Scientology or whatever is going on over there, yeah? Then we're getting this... Bro, man's sharing his wife, open relationships.
I'm with you. I can't look at Will the same way.
I can't look at Will the same.
My ego wouldn't let... But then again, you see like Will's kind of... He's gone to that place now where... his head isn't where ours is.
No, what place?
Have you seen it? Have you seen him though? Have you seen him now?
Yeah.
He's in.
I was thinking
he's where Jim Carrey is.
When I was...
He's where Jim Carrey is.
Yeah,
like, he's in a different...
He's quite there yet.
No, but I'm saying
he's like 5 minutes away though.
He's
like 5 minutes away.
Jim Carrey, like as in he's gone almost tapped. Do you know when I knew Jada, I'm done with you, when she had Snoop Dogg crying on the flipping round table thing because he said the word bitch.
What, he was barling?
He called someone a bitch.
Snoop was crying?
Yeah.
She went in on it.
And Snoop called someone else a bitch. I think it might have been Oprah or someone he called a bitch, yeah? And she sat at the table, as in Jada Pinkett sat at the table and said, when you said that word, I felt offended.
Yeah.
My daughter felt offended. Yeah. The camera just conveniently shuffles to flipping Willow. And then it comes back to her just like,
and her
I felt like you attacked me. I'm just like, he didn't call you a bitch.
No.
You lot are power trip. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've got every man that is near them, she's got them on the ropes.
Well,
all of them.
First of all, she's peng as well.
That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter. I don't care.
Do you know what?
Her pengness is gone.
I hear that.
Bring me along. Bring me up one of the others now.
She definitely seems to have powerful pooch.
Yeah, that's how
Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. For her to be able to do that. Do you know what it is, yeah? I'm not... I know that you lot are saying you're looking at Will sideways and that. I ain't really looking at him sideways. Because although I think it's mad, yeah, I just feel like, unfortunately, yeah, for him, and he might say fortunately, innit? I feel like he's fell in love with a woman, yeah, that is super complicated, yeah, and has spun his mind in a certain way that in his mind, he's concentrating on the thing that he feels is going to make his family happy, yeah? And I just think that from the outside looking in, we can all look at this and see this is just all a bit mad. But when you're in it and you are being, and someone's articulating things in a certain way, like when I sit and watch them around the red table and they're like, So I was sitting down one day,
Bro, it's
and I realized that I had this epiphany where, and it's like I could see, like, because sometimes I sit there and I watch them do that, and I'm like, yeah, I hear this thing. Then I come out of it, and I'm like, what the fuck was you talking about? So imagine living with a girl like that.
Yeah.
I was sitting down one day,
and let's have it right, yeah, before it makes it seem like man's all over Jada. Obviously, Will was the wave, innit? Will's done his fucking. He could even have driven her to this space where she's just like, fuck it, let's have an open relationship then, since Will, you want to be beating that thing and that thing and that. It could have happened, innit? I'm just going off what I've seen.
But Will said though, in one of the round tables, was that, like, this was time ago, where he said he'd felt like he was doing everything. I felt like I was doing everything, but like, he just said it wasn't ever enough. He said he never felt like it was ever enough.
No, but I was going to touch on that because, like, I'm not in no long-term... Well, I have been in the past in a long-term relationship, but I ain't been in, like, no long-term marriage or anything. But when I speak to, like, my older friends who have been married for years, they say things like, you fall in and out of love or whatever. And some people do agree to a certain extent to have some kind of open something, yeah? But... obviously, they're very famous and stuff, so I don't know if I was in their position, if I would risk that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because now we're all blaming their behaviour for their kids. I started looking at their kids saying, no wonder Willow and that, like, well, this or whatever.
No, you're right.
Because I started...
the whole thing, the thing is, I look at all the common denominators. When I look at Fresh Prince and what Will Smith was, he seemed very normal. He was just a youth from Philadelphia.
I don't think there's any such thing as normal.
He definitely
as in, like, when I say normal, I mean not as tapped as what he is now.
Yeah, I hear that.
Do you think fame and money and all of that does that?
100%.
To him?
Nah, I think it's the person he's with.
Yeah, but I'm saying fame and money would have brought that. Yeah, I mean, it
brings access.
Trust me, if Will would ended up with Nia Long like he should have done, if Will Smith had ended up with Nia Long like he should have been.
I was watching something.
Yeah,
there was a couple, and a man couldn't satisfy his wife no more, and she had like a very big sexual appetite. So he was like, "Cool, do your thing." But she used to do all this online, not only fans, but she does some kind of online stuff. Then it got too deep, like she actually wants to have sex with them, and he allowed it.
Wait, when
but he was hurting in
what type? Yeah, no, that
he was hurting in silence.
Wait,
they're older though. They were older though. They were like in their 60s and that, but she had a big sexual situation.
Okay, and so wait, when he couldn't satisfy anymore, was it in terms of like the packaging, or was it just like he just didn't have the rounds?
The whole thing, because she was enjoying that.
I gotta go. I gotta leave.
Do you know what it is?
What? Vice versa, it happens the other way around to women as well. Some women can't satisfy their men. And they allow their men to go out there.
We're all babies in this relationship thing. In reality, like, we've not done 30 years like them lot, like he has. But I can't see at any age my ego allowing this.
Same.
Nah, I could not have my missus. Nah, I couldn't.
Bro, my wife.
I wouldn't even want
This is my mother of my kids.
This is not let me. I'll be like, bye.
My thing. This is not just my girl from down the road. This is my life, innit? Like, this is my actual person. And you're coming to me to chat to me.
And my man was in love with her. Did you see how emotional he was about it? He was heartbroken.
Let's look at it from like a deeper perspective then, yeah, not so much a surface point of view. Obviously, I couldn't do it. But I know that it is a thing that happens within relationships, and for some people it works, innit? Having an open relationship, yeah. But, and this is speculation. I don't know anything about their relationship, yeah. But why I thought this was interesting is that every time I've seen them having conversations, I'm talking about Jada and Will, yeah. I've always felt like Will seems to be going along with a lot of what is happening, and he's finding. He's articulating arguments for why he should go along with it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
So it's like,
so he's convincing himself this is a good reason for why I'm doing what I'm doing. But then when this August thing came out now, yeah, it spoke to that more for me, because I was like, hold on a minute, the way that he's talking about this relationship, yeah, maybe he could have been adding sauce onto it, but he seemed like a youth that was mad, cut and hurt and all kinds of stuff, yeah. He needed some help and whatnot. And I just feel like when I watched it, I was like, this is a bit of a weird one here. Like, how would Will really have been receptive to this? Because to me, again, I don't know shit. It just seemed like they took him in because he was addicted to Percocets and all of that type of shit. August was.
Okay.
So they took him in.
That makes it sound.
They took him in, and then
as what? Took him in as what?
Like to help him.
They do take people in though, don't they? Look when Geordie Woods was in.
Yeah, they did the same thing with her.
Well, they took. Do
you know? It's kind of like what Diddy did with. You could say it's kind of like what Diddy did with Chris Brown. When Chris Brown had the Rihanna thing, Chris Brown was living in Diddy's yard after that, and he kind of was like, you know what, come and I'll protect you. Yeah. So then it was that, and then all of a sudden now, Jada starts giving up the pooch now, and then you start thinking, hold on, obviously this might not have happened, but then you start thinking, imagine this was the other way around.
I know.
Imagine if this was the guy had taken the girl in, because she's addicted to whatever and whatnot, and then he starts slinging some dick.
Everyone would have.
And then she starts coming out. Then she starts coming out on a vibe of. And then she starts coming out on a vibe of like, you know, this is what could happen. Social media would have just been doing its thing. But also, do you know what though? One of the reasons why I felt like what August did was a bit mad is only the fact that like I felt he was saying what he was saying off the back of a small percentage of internet backlash, because he kept talking about like essentially him not being a home wrecker and him not being what people thought it was. And it's like, did you go on your Instagram one day and see like one or two people saying, like, you know, how could you go into that household and do X, Y, and Z? And now you think that is a representation of what everyone thinks, and you're already mentally fragile, and now you think no one likes you because of this. So now you feel like you need to come out and clear this air that didn't even need to be cleared. No one was talking about it, fam.
I'm just sitting here, I'm furious. Bro.
I think he done it to promote his tape. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I hear that. That's the next mad thing.
And I still didn't listen to it after all of this that's happened.
So what? Jada's denying it.
Especially after I heard it was 27 songs.
Jada's denying it. Jada's denying it.
She's denying it. Honestly, check. Her
team. She said it wasn't me.
What?
Yeah.
You know?
Then there was a picture of them looking hella happy at some awards. I was like, this picture says.
Oh, do you know what it is? Like, it's obviously happened, innit? But I'm just not happy.
Man lie on their look. The thing is though, man lie on their thing, yeah. But I just can't. I don't know why it is, yeah. I just don't see him lying about that.
No, he looks so vulnerable. He's not lying, man. No. Look how emotional he was.
Proper.
Did he say he was something like, I can die knowing I gave myself to someone?
Yes, sir. Like he's been in love. He doesn't. Yeah. He's happy if he doesn't fall in love again.
And this is all.
Yes.
Basically.
Wait. Are we saying that he was chopping her down whilst he was living in the same house as Will Smith?
Well, there was another. Wait, there was. Did you see the other clip?
Please, no.
Did you see the other clip with Jada where she said something about them? I might be in one side of the room with this clown, and he might be in the other side of the room.
We're all in the joke together. Shit like that.
But we're all in it together, kind of thing. And the mum says, and I always thought that was ridiculous.
Yeah. I was dying. I was like,
what?
Let me see if I could try and.
Please.
So they're brethren.
So we all know of it.
So they're brethren.
Who?
Yeah. Dan can't
Jada
take
and Will are brethren.
He can't take it.
They're brethren.
Are they brethren or not? Because what's going on here? This is not how I've been taught to behave, bro.
Honestly, do you know what though? It's
so
like
confusing. People
do have open relationships still, and it works for some people. But you know what? All I will say on this though is that Jada, if anything, if she's done anything wrong, I could say there's a bunch of things. But if anything, if she did do something with him, I just feel like she didn't read the room properly. And what I mean by that is that if you've taken somebody in who was mentally vulnerable, was addicted on Percocets and all these type of things, and you have this open, successful relationship, because the reality is we ain't heard no girl come out saying that Will's beat it like while they've been together or anything like that, And to be fair to Jada, you haven't heard that about her either. So you got somebody
but with Jada, there's always been whispers. Always.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But you've got somebody in that is mentally vulnerable,
It's quite bad.
And now with that, you should have thought, you know what, I'm attracted to the guy, innit? And like, I'm definitely down for doing it. But you know what? He's too vulnerable. Like he will say something. He will be the one to come out and say something.
Yes.
Do you get what I'm saying? There's been times where I've met a girl, that like there was one particular time. There was this girl I'd been talking to her for time, whatnot. Hadn't spoken to her for ages. ended up like on a one-away speaking again. Then I went and picked her up to bring her to my yard. So I've picked her up, and then she says, one of the first things she says to me is, "Could you see anything different?" I'm like, nah. I'm like, nah. This is like my hair. My hair just messed up my hair, and I hate it, and I've been so depressed and whatever. And I'm like, right, like you look crisp. Like it looks really nice. Like I don't know, I never noticed anything, but it looks really nice. Anyway, so we've gone back to the yard now, whatever. And then like we put the movie on now, just obviously for the ambiance and whatnot. And then while we was like lying down, I felt like a teardrop on my eye, on my forearm.
What?
So I'm like, then I felt a next one, and I was like, babes, I said, "Are you all right?" This girl started bawling, yeah. So then now, like, we're sitting on the bed, I'm like, "What's wrong?" And she's telling me about like the hair and whatnot, these things. So obviously I'm like calming her down, and like now I've realised how serious this thing is for her, innit? So she's like, "Yeah, like drop me home," and I'm like, "I'm not gonna drop you home like this. Let's just chill, whatever." So I got her to a place where she was like, now fine, yeah. And something could have then. Yeah. But after that, I was like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This here? Yeah, nah.
Nah. You know what that's called, Chucky? Know-how, experience.
Yes.
You only get it from playing lots of football.
Yeah, straight. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, bruv. You know, next minute, and then before you know it, it's allegations and all of these things. So yeah, I don't know. I think Jada read the room wrong, man.
But don't you feel like, obviously this open relationship thing, it happens a lot more than people actually know, but it's the secrecy to it that keeps it going.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? No one's really meant to know.
Yeah.
Because even people that I know who are, per se, in open relationships, when the female's out here doing whatever she's doing, best believe her man can never find out. And I'm sure it's like that vice versa.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Do you know what I mean? Even though they both kind of know they're living their lives.
Kind of like, we're cheating on each other, but
you can't come here and be like, I just beat Billy yesterday. Do you know what I mean?
I can't go to my kitchen.
I'm gonna make you dinner. I just beat Billy yesterday.
Yeah.
Imagine going to the fridge at the same time as my man, who's flipping just. Absolutely.
And you're like, oh babe, how was it yesterday? Oh, Billy was proper good.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
It's almost like do your thing, don't show me. And
never meant to like.
That's how.
Well, what did you do last night?
It would have to be.
Well, where are you going tonight? Where are you going tonight? Right, you look nice, Biz.
I would have thought, mate,
I'm going to see Billy. What? Rage. But you know what though? That's not an open relationship if it's secret.
Yeah, but they both know what they both know they're out
it's
there.
An arrangement.
You just can't talk about it with each other.
Why?
But that's not an open relationship?
Yeah,
is it?
I don't think so.
That's too secret.
Yeah.
Really, an open relationship is supposed to be like
we're
I ain't grown enough for that, man.
Yeah, neither am I.
I'm not grown enough.
Is that a grown thing? Because, if I even hinted to my grandparents that this is happening, I would assume that they'll be like, "What?"
Do you know what I mean?
Let me ask you this then: what about the partner introducing someone into the equation?
Okay, a threesome.
Yes.
No, I'm saying regular. Okay, like that's like my wave. Like
I'm saying it's calm, like I'll bang it out. No. That's normal.
But
it's normal, I suppose.
If isn't that technically like it's not an open relationship?
It's not normal, but it happens.
Christ. Yeah. Okay, yeah, I see it.
I'm dying right now.
I see it still. Yeah, I hope the camera picked that one up still. But I hear that.
But that isn't that like in the pie of the open relationship though? It's in the pie, isn't it? It's not the full open relationship, but it's like if your partner is open enough to say, you know what, I'm gonna bring another girl to the thing and that, and you're okay with it, and this is what we're gonna do. You're openly, like, actively involved. I know that usually it starts off with rules, so it's like I don't know.
Can't lips her.
Yeah, you can't
take too long.
Yeah.
You can't
having too much fun.
Yeah, exactly. She can't get longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
She's got to leave straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you can't speak to her. You can't know her. Can't give her the
Yeah, I have to pick her.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure that you can't chat to her without me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there has to be rules.
But then all that does is it's still in the pie. It might just be that much. It might not be the whole thing, but it's still.
I personally think like I'm not capable of that either, innit? I'm definitely not capable of that because if I did that. Afterwards, I'll be like, you see, everything's okay pre-nut, but after the nut, I'm just sitting there like this.
Yeah, nah. Who? What?
Like,
with your missus?
Yeah, with my missus.
What, is she allowed?
If it's my missus,
what, is she bringing the next don?
The next girl, next anything, I'll be like, fucking.
Yeah, nah, the next girl.
I would honestly still be looking at it there like, I can't believe it. She's outgrown me.
Yeah.
That's it.
Shit. it must cause
Bro,
some kind of.
it has to.
something.
So I would presume, for me, that would start a rift.
No, it would be
100%.
an argument if my girl told me she wants to bring her next don in the equation.
100%.
What?
My ego can't handle this.
that.
No,
I
even
can't
alright. What
handle
about
that.
next girl? Because in theory we're supposed to like that.
Yeah, no. So that's
Exactly,
my bias. I'm gonna be honest with you. That's my bias. So like, I'm not saying I'm gonna do it, but I would explore the conversation.
A next girl's fine. A next man is a bit of a violation
I'm
of
not on
both
it.
parties, I think.
I'm not on it either. Either
For
way.
a girl to say, I want to bring a next man into the thingy, every man has, your own man is going to have mad ego issues. Like, you can't do that to your man.
Yeah, but your girl, your girl could have an ego issue as well.
Yeah.
Though. My girl, if
That's
I
what I'm
said
trying to say. Only girls, you got to be mad confident within yourself, within your relationship, within your sexuality, all of that, to be allowing another female into your
Do you
relationship.
think you could?
You can't just do that with anyone, or like.
Do you think
It
you
depends.
could say
Some
that to
people-
your girl though? I want to bring another girl in, or do you have to wait for her to say, "Shall we bring another?"
You
girl
better
in?
wait for her, I swear.
You better wait for her.
yeah, or you got, or you know what it is.
Oh, fuck it,
You
I'll
gotta
elbow
wait.
you, like,
You gotta
mad.
wait for something to come up on TV. For that to.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you gotta like wait for that.
Alright, babes, alright, look at that.
Would
Hey,
you do it?
Yeah, would you do that? Would you ever do that?
Oh, I'd love to do that on my birthday. You know, man, them just slide it in there like on some joke thing.
Yeah.
But really, they
Well,
want
you
it.
know
Exactly.
the worst thing is, but there's like TV guilt that comes out of nowhere. Like I'm talking, even if there's like, you see like a scene from I don't know, even in Power, where it's just like there's a girl in it that like my girl might know I'm on this girl, but I'll start looking at my phone, anything just because I don't want it to seem like I proper fancy this girl.
Yeah.
But I'm on her, and I know you know I'm on her. But
That
I'm
shit
just
makes my
pretending
heart
to be
race.
on my phone.
That shit makes my heart race a bit still.
TV
But
is risky,
I don't know,
bro.
man. I think the open relationship thing is interesting. And you know what? I want to throw this out there for anyone that is in a strong, long-term open relationship. If you're down for it, come here.
Yeah.
Let's
Innit? I wanna know
let's discuss that, because I think we're just talking from a place of not being able to understand it. But there are people that have, for them, good reasons for why they feel like they could do that. And I think, remember, we did that something with Durex recently, and we're having like a roundtable discussion, and like there were people that had all different sexual interests that were interesting.
Yeah.
Like some real interesting stories getting told around this table. Like people had, like there was, I can say this because obviously I don't know, I'm not saying a person's name, but there was that one person who I think she was in a relationship with one guy, and then like but she had like she was sleeping with other men. What was it called actually? It was called
something.
but
I don't know the terms, so I feel like I'll get this all wrong.
You've already started wrong.
Yeah,
the
I feel
cis.
like one of them, I just don't know who.
No, the sis isn't involved in that. I think the sis is like, I know where you're going.
No.
Let's stop. Before you know it's cancellation.
You know what I mean?
But it's, you know what, it's all interesting still. But I also think, just going back to the Jada and Will thing, I think that when they go and do their red table talk thing, they don't have to do this, but if you are giving all of this advice to everyone about relationships and all these type of things or whatnot, then I think that they should talk openly more about that. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's a real thing. And if they are successfully doing it, because let's just say before this thing had come out, they might actually be doing it successfully.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? It could be genuinely working for them. And if that is a part of their thing, then you know what? Like, unpack it.
I wonder
gems,
what it means for your kid. As in, do you know what? I feel like it's very different having a flipping threesome or an open relationship with your girl that you've been going out with for 8 months or whatever it is, yeah? But I feel like once kids are in this equation, I feel like the
How old's Jaden?
I don't know. They'll be
Jaden's her son as well, right?
Yeah.
So he's in his 20s.
Yeah.
As a 20-year-old, I don't want to hear no man come out talk about he beating my
Honestly, I'm going to move him up.
What?
Bro,
Like,
this is what I'm
link
saying.
me.
My guy's a couple years older than...
The goalpost.
Get me his
Once you
number.
got kids, this is way more techie than it was before we had kids.
He's 21. So, and then
So what,
August
Alsina
was beating his mum when he was 21.
What?
Link me. Oh, that's my vibe. Get me his number.
kidding me?
What?
It's on site.
When did August supposedly do it?
This
When
is
he was
years
21.
ago, man.
So he's 27 now, I think.
You know, this is ugly. I don't like this.
It's not sweet.
Jaden would have been 15. Yeah, fuck that. No.
Yeah,
It's probably
but
that's
link
why
me.
she
He's
probably
probably
has to
playing
deny
basketball
it.
with Jaden.
And I'm salty with my mum.
He's playing basketball.
so
with
That's
Jaden.
why they're
my mum.
denying it, because it's just so messy to
Yeah,
even
cool.
start the convo and
I'm ignoring my mum and that. I'm ignoring my
You
mum.
know what?
and
Each
that.
to their own. Get me. Whatever makes everyone happy, but that would make me sad.
Yeah, what?
That would make me sad.
I'm not gonna
That's
lie.
it, yeah, it's not
I
gonna
would
make me
ignore
happy.
my mum for a little while.
I
I'll be
couldn't look at
upset.
my
I'll be in
man
my
the same.
feelings.
No, even as Will, that would make me sad.
I couldn't
Everything
look
would
at my
make me
husband the
sad.
same. Like, I'll start
Yeah,
singing
but
his
Will,
song.
I don't know. Do you know? I think the thing that if Will is okay with the open relationship thing, I don't think that the story or the situation being what it was would upset him. I just think that he might actually just be upset at the fact that we had a private conversation
The whole world
as a
knows.
man to man. You get what I'm saying? I sat down with you and you know what? And this is why I felt like it was a bit deep still, because I'm just looking at it from this perspective. It must have taken maybe a lot for Will to sit down with him and say, you know what, let's have this conversation, because you're in the house as it is. This isn't just a random guy that's coming in. If it's an open relationship and it's a random guy, maybe I might be able to just handle that. But you're someone that's in my household. Do you know what I mean? So you know what? Let's sit down and let's unpack it, have a conversation about it, and then, you know what I mean, we hug, shake hands after it, and it just is what it is. So for me to have that with you, and then for you to go out conveniently while you've got an album and then say my name like that, I'm gonna want to link you afterwards.
Oh, I'm way too violent for this.
Yeah, I'm gonna want to see. I'm gonna want to see you so we could discuss this part now. Yeah, because that's a bit mad to me. But with that being said, though, August looks like he needs a lot of help, and it seems like he's getting it, but it seems as though he's in a place where he's super fragile, and
Definitely.
he needs to hopefully he fixes that, because when he was crying and being emotional the way that he was, it wasn't just like it didn't to me seem like someone who was just crying and being emotional for being emotional sake.
Yeah,
He
it was
seemed like
deep.
he was
No, it
it was
deep.
deep, like it was real deep, and he was hurt by that whole thing. It looked like he deeply fell in love with Jada, actually.
No, for real.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, Jada, and that's probably better off. They were better off coming out and not saying nothing, as opposed to coming out and saying that it wasn't me or I didn't do it. And all
And don't
that.
you feel like as a man, like when men get cheated on,
Bro, you see, like my heart just starts beating.
when men get
I
cheated on,
see
yeah,
Chucky's
you
just-
lot, if
no,
you love
I'm
your
feeling
girl,
it.
you'd actually take her back, yeah. But it's when like your brethren find out and other people find out, you're more angry, like you're double angry. Like if you lot can keep it all closed in,
I don't
you lot
know.
will take your girl back. I've seen it happen. I'm 31, man. I've lived like I've
Man,
seen.
man, I've seen it
I've
happen.
seen bare
It
man
happened
take
to
back
me.
their girl.
Not like she didn't cheat. Like we wasn't. I said this many a times on the podcast. Yeah, we wasn't in a relationship, really, but we was.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like for me, like I'm looking at it like this. Yeah, for me, she's the only girl in the room. We're spending so much time together now. This is where it's going.
Infatuation stage as well.
Yeah, and like, so we're in all of that. So when I've rang, like, because what happened was, I'll tell you still. So what happened was now, cut a very long story short, she told me that she used to date a DJ or whatever. And so I'm like, who? And she wouldn't tell me. And I left it because I liked her. I don't know why. I should have just, like, kept asking more. So anyway, one day I thought, you know what? I was on the Facebook and that, and I thought, I'm just going to scroll a little bit. Yeah, wait.
A little bit.
Wait, and if I see a DJ if I don't know him, then I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah.
But if I know him, I'm gonna shout him.
Yeah.
So obviously, scrolling now, boom, see DJ that I trained in the gym with. Like we train, yeah. So I rang him, we're talking and whatnot, and I'm like, yo, I need a little check. So he was like, what? And I said, oh, do you know such and such? And he was like, right, I'll never ever forget this. He goes, he goes,
My
rah.
heart's beating
He
for
goes,
you.
it's mad that you mention her, you know. I was at her yard last night beating it still. Hear him though. Wait,
ready to
hear him.
leave.
Hear him. But she's cool though.
Fucking hell.
She's cool though. All it was is, true, I got a girl
I'm
in that.
furious
Wait,
about
hear him though, wait.
Can you
wait,
hear this?
Word for word, bar for bar. True, I got a girl in that. Couldn't wifey her in that, yeah. And then obviously I was just in the ends, and then I hadn't seen her for ages, so I just hit her up and that, and she was in the yard, and so then obviously I just went in and whatever. But he goes, "How do you know her?" I said to
After
him,
saying all
I
of
said
it.
to him, "Listen."
You must have looked.
I was like, "Oh, you know what? Nah, bruv, I don't even really know her too." I'm like, yo, yeah, like, you know what? Just fucking bumped into her one place or whatever. And he was like, nah, man, she's proper
So
cool,
sad.
man. He's like, she's proper cool. Like, just, you know what? Just do your thing or whatnot, innit?
I personally don't think.
Listen,
that's heartbreaking.
And you know what? Yeah, I said all of that to say this. Like later on down the line, I ended up trying to make it work again because in my head I was thinking, you know what? For her, she probably thinking to herself. I just came up with all of these stupid things for why she did it, but then
I love it.
But then I tried to ignore. Listen,
men make the
thing. But then do you know what happened? Yeah. When like afterwards when we've rekindled the thing or whatever or tried to rekindle it and that gone to the yard and then like we're just like chilling whatever and then now we're getting to the you understand what I'm saying, so as we get into that now and she's reacting to certain things in my head I'm thinking my man did that.
Was he laying on that side or it must have been
I put my pants on
and you can't the demons
and left
the demons
no,
bro I've said this for a long time like I'm not big enough even if I say we go again. Yeah, we will try and work it out. I'm not a big enough person for it. It's broken, innit? This is now broken. I'm probably gonna try and beat your brethren. It's all mad now, innit?
I believe it gets taken.
My thing is this, yeah. Anyone, I've said this many a time.
Take it out.
Oh my god! Any advice, girls? If you cheat, you know what my uncle told me when I was young. My mum's brother when I was young.
Just bleep it. No, bro, it is.
No,
I've got to say this one with my chest.
Stop.
I hear
stop.
Stop. I hear him though.
We're unfiltered still.
Because I've been told it from young, from my mum's brother. He told me, Denise, even if you get caught cheating red-handed by your man, you just got to deny it because he can't get that image out of his head. Yeah. All right, cool. Obviously,
do you know what red-handed looks like to me?
No, but okay, not red-handed, but he's basically saying you just got to keep denying it. Like a man just can't get that out of his head once you admit it and he knows it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So like, but I've been in positions with my ex and to make that clear because obviously I'm in a new situation. I don't want this guy to get worried. Where we had a break. Well, he cheated and then I thought, fuck it, we broke up. I started seeing somebody else.
We hate that.
He couldn't take it. He come and got me back. He come and got me back. He come and begged me back. Yeah.
He got you back. Oh.
After like 6 months, I'm seeing somebody else. We've been traveling, whatever. The person's treating me great. My ex come and took me back. Basically, like I don't care. Like he said whatever he said, done what he done, and I went back to him. And he used to ask all these questions like, "Oh, did you do this?" When you're on a holiday, and I used to be like, "No, nothing happened."
Yeah, because if you would have turned around and said,
it was better for his mental state. I'm telling you.
If you would have turned around and said, "All right, do you know what? Just this one time, just so that it's out in the air and that, because this is what some people like to do. This, I just want to be honest. Yeah. If you would have turned around and said, "Yeah, do you know what? I'm just gonna say this once. When we went to Bifa." Or Mallorca or whatever, we did it in the shower and then like,
mothers,
what the shower is that right?
All of that, like, see, you think that the man thinks that he just wants to hear this one time and he can get past it. See, when you start giving these details, he will never
exactly.
Ever.
So why are you asking me? Why are you putting yourself through that? I used to be like, bruv, stop asking me these questions.
Do you know why he's asking you? Because he wants you to say it didn't happen.
But I used to stick it on him and be like, so what was you doing? And he'd be like, and then I just hate him.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, this is what I've been telling people for a long time. The lie is better.
Hey,
what?
Tell the truth.
Hey, what? Man, just talk to me.
Hey.
Is it?
Well, I'm just.
You alright?
Bro, bottom line.
I have teeth your seat.
Chucky, don't take it out. I said what I said.
You said, oh God.
I said what I said.
Oh, mate.
I'm with you on that. I'll tell you next time after. But I'm with you on that one.
Hey, I don't know. I'll assess it.
Hey, bro. Boot up, man.
Huh?
Boot up. Take the bib off. You're on.
I'm on, yeah. What do you get?
Do you know what? I'm just letting you know, Po. We're getting into the subject that you wasn't really thing. So if you want to give it like 20 minutes or so.
20 minutes now. You see you, man, and time. This is crazy, fam. How can a man set a time for a thing that is like 20 minutes from his yard and I'm an hour away?
That wasn't my fault. Tell him it wasn't my fault.
Tell him whose fault it was.
It's 3 p.m. though.
Tell him whose fault it was.
He's doing it at 3 p.m. That is in the middle of the day.
Whose fault is it?
Denise's fault.
Is it? Why?
Listen, everyone. Denise,
what? Because I agreed for 3 p.m.
All right, stop moaning. Yes, all right. Yes, cool.
Hey,
I was late as well, Po.
this is the combo you need to have, though. This is the one you need to have.
Yeah. You might as well just join in, man.
What?
You might as well just come in.
Your backside about you might as well just join in. Yeah, watch my my IP, intellectual property. We don't want certain energy around my thing, Chucky.
Alright. Close that door then.
So you're trying about Thomas the Tank Engine? I'm not involved, cuz.
Oh, we got man. Anyway, close that. Close. Alright, cool. Yeah. So flipping. Yeah. Anyway, listen. Like right now is a bit of a mad time because I feel like there's like all these conversations that are being had at the moment, yeah, and like now there's like all these conversations as well about like all these allegations and that have been made, yeah, on the internet and that, and it feels a bit weird. I can't even lie because like we should always, especially as guys, yeah, be educating ourselves more than anything about like respecting just people in general, innit, yeah. But like sometimes I feel like the wires and the lines and all that get crossed and blurred when you start seeing like lists. You start seeing all these lists and shit. Like there was a list that came out the other day on the gram. Did you see it?
I saw it.
On Twitter and that, where it just had like all of the abusers and shit. Well, like from what they were saying, abusers and all of that, yeah. And I'm like, when you just throw names into the atmosphere like that, yeah, it's mad dangerous though. Like it's mad dangerous.
Sad. Like, I have a son as well, so like, and I have a brother. I have loads of male cousins, and I just feel like I felt sorry for a lot of people. But then at the same breath, like I do feel sorry for victims if something
100%.
really has happened to you. But we're in a time now where there's all this online clout and all this stuff. So sometimes you don't know if. You just don't know, innit, if something's really genuine. We don't even know who made the list. It was all anonymous. We don't.
Yeah, exactly.
There was even like no evidence, like no actual descriptions of something that happened by that person. It was just a list of names. We don't even know who dashed the names on there.
Yeah, exactly.
I just felt like it wasn't fair because like these things can affect these people long term. Like
when people come out though, and they just like say like when people come out with their own face and they say whatever it is that they're saying, then like I can't even really be mad at that because it's like this person is coming out.
You're allowed to say what you...
So see, like with Ray Black, for example, when she came out, and that happened to her, innit?
Yeah.
So she was more than entitled, I think, to come out and say this because she felt some type of way about it. And ultimately, as well, yeah, I thought it was good, and the reason why I thought it was good, yeah, is because see, like from the man them perspective, that's just a teachable moment. See, like with Ambush, which I said before, this one isn't the career ender. Luckily luckily enough, it's not. It's not like he was, sexually abusing a child or whatever it was. Yeah, he just reacted in a certain way that he probably felt was normal to him, which we just know is a bit mad. But there's a teachable moment in it, and you could be like, all right, cool. You know what? And other people could see that and be like, right, you know what? There's certain things that man could have done at one point, but we can't really do now. And so then that opens up the conversation of like normalizing things that had happened when we was younger.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So in school, I don't know about what it was like for you, but in school, one thing that was super normal is we used to just feel up gal in school.
Me and Banks was talking about this because we were like, obviously we're from the hood, yeah. We were like, growing up, the man then would try and grab your bum or whatever. But when you're from the hood, you just be like, you just switch and bust a little switch and they will never do it again. Or if you're that type, you just probably laugh it off and they might keep doing it or whatever. But for us from the hood, a little touch or whatever, we wouldn't call the police. We wouldn't make a big deal. We'd just brush it off, do you know what I mean? Yeah. But a girl from a whole different life, that's a big deal. 100%. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So we were like, for us, bare of these little things that probably happened to us back in the day and we probably just shook it off and never taken it too serious. But if it happens to a completely other girl, a different girl from a different background, they would take it seriously. And Ambush being a rapper from the hood, he's probably been able to get away flirting with bare girls and girls are just throwing themselves at him or do you know what I'm trying to say? So he probably just thought he could just do a little touch, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he meant it as
it didn't seem like it was a little touch though. It seemed like a grab and shake thing still. That's what it seemed like, but I could be wrong, obviously. I'm just trying to
obviously, or whatever, but like I don't think he meant that in some like as a predator, like proper trying to be mad with it. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But it's good that came out because it can show the man them that you really can't be doing that when you're out.
Yeah. And there's enough things. There's actually just enough things, innit?
But guys always grab bums. I'm one of them guys. If you grab I'm girls, if you grab my bum, it could actually kick off. Like,
for real?
I swear down. I'd switch. Like, only my man can do that to me.
Yeah.
Like, guys just feel, especially like carnival.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing, yes. Like, when you
Why do you think you could just do that, though?
When you
like,
deep what sexual assault really is, and you think about carnival, fuck. Like,
humping.
Yeah, there's like, but not even that. It's just bare. Like, you walk through carnival with a girl sometimes, man will just pick up a girl and run off with her. I've seen that. I've seen a man pick a girl up and run off. You know what I'm saying?
I've seen a simple wine go to a pickup and a hump and
like 100 stabbing.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Quick 100 stabbing that. But then like all of these things, I think it's kind of, or a lot of it anyway, stems from like normalizing certain things from when you're younger, and then bringing it into different environments and whatnot. And I think this is super sensitive to say this as well, but I think that like sometimes that is how certain men catch a case. And you know what, I was saying this to someone outside. I can't remember exactly what the context was, because we was talking about like rape and sometimes the whole thing of like when it makes someone feel uncomfortable, when no means no, and all of these type of things, But then I was like, you know, one thing I think certain men get themselves caught up in, like not a lot, and I don't know the percentage, but I think what certain men get themselves caught up in is they meet a girl, and they might meet a girl that wants all kinds of stuff. So they want to be spat on. They want to be grabbed by the neck. They want to be viciously, like, they want that. That's like the thing that they will ask for, and it's a lot more common than you would.
Do you think it's because we have free porn now as well?
Yes,
like
exactly
of
that.
Sex as well.
Exactly that. But also some of that comes from abuse and trauma and all of that shit too. So anyway, imagine you give a girl that because that's something that she wants now, and then all of a sudden that type of sex now becomes your default.
Okay.
So now you go and meet someone else, and then you want to go and do all of this type of stuff, and she's like, hold on a minute, what the fuck, what? Yeah, but now she's also in a situation where like it's so uncomfortable, I don't even know how to tell this brother that I'm feeling uncomfortable, because how is that going to turn out? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's weird. It's like we all know that no means no as well. And I think that there's always them type of conversations to be had too. But one thing that I do want to ask you actually, you can't speak for all women, you just speak for yourself, and for women that you know and that, Has there ever been a time where the no has actually kind of meant yeah?
Whoa. What, like you're just playing hard to get a bit, but yeah, obviously to the person you like, or sometimes you don't even want to come across like you're too easy, or or you're too like you're just on it so quick. Yeah. But you can I don't know. I was gonna say just now, you'd expect the man to know. Yeah. How can you know? Do you know what I'm trying to say? You can't, because it's a tricky one. But I'm not gonna say I've never done that. I definitely must have done that. But I wanted to touch on, you see the whole consent thing, you know, during this time where everyone was talking about their experiences, this list and all of this shit on Twitter, because I kept seeing so much, I was thinking like, has anything mad ever happened to me? Like, do you know what I mean? So I can see how it triggers other people, why it was just one after another, after another.
And then you could look at something and think, wow, that was actually a bit mad.
Sometimes you don't even think someone done something to you. You think it wasn't nothing bad, but then you read all these experiences, you're like, that was actually sexual assault type of thing. So that's what was happening to a lot of girls. They've had these experiences with guys and they didn't even think it was that deep. And then you're reading it, other people's experiences, and you're like, this happened to me. Just like when I watched the thing on BBC the other day, and the guy took the condom off midway, and then she found out that was rape.
Oh yeah, that's mad.
Do you know what I'm trying to say?
That is mad though. And do you know what though?
That was her boyfriend.
That's her boyfriend?
Yeah, and she got him done for it. She went and reported it. And he probably thought, I don't know what he thought, but he probably thought I just want to feel inside. Yeah. I don't know what he was thinking.
You know what? It's a common one. If we're going to do this, I'm going to be open with it. A common one was, not that I've ever done this, but the common one was, just let me put the tip in.
And then it turns into a full bang.
Yeah, just please, can I just
think that's such a back in the day.
So this is the thing, at a certain point, I'm not saying that even then it was cool to do that. But at a certain point, maybe you could have just got away with that, and because it was just quite a normal thing. But now, you can't put yourself in a predicament where there could be any type of lines blurred, because when you start having them conversations and then you start thinking about Iraq and I just put the tip in, it does kind of sound a bit mad still. Do you get what I'm saying? It sounds mad. And then the taking of the, like, this is a thing that's happened to like one of my brethren as well, where she's told me, like, midway through the thing, my man's just taken the thing off and that, and she didn't even know.
That was rape till I watched that thing the other day. I did not know.
That's definitely rape.
That was classed as rape.
Because if that's what you've asked for, you're not getting what you've asked for.
But you see red flags in people. Like, I would never say a name, but the only experience that I've had in my life, and it was even like a year or two ago, I went on a date with some guy, and date went nice, everything, and then he's walked me to my car. Then he tried to kiss me, but then obviously I've been a bit, thinking, rah.
Yeah, my man's trying to.
I wasn't even on this today, do you know what I mean? But then he was really hench and stuff. He grabbed me in some way that I felt like, red flag, you're one of them.
Yeah.
So like, but the grab was like really, it was a lot. Like, and I remember thinking to myself, raw, I got in my car, went
Did
home.
you still back out from the little?
I didn't speak to the guy again.
Yeah.
But with all this stuff coming up, he actually messaged me like recently, and he was like, "Are you good? I just wanted to know like why I never heard from you again."
See there?
To you, like know. Do you know what I mean?
Bear man can't sleep tonight.
I was uncomfortable. I couldn't. Me, who's confident as fuck, I bad up everyone. I couldn't even tell him like, nah, you moved mad that day. You grabbed me, and I felt like ill.
Yeah.
I couldn't even say it. So can you imagine girls who have had real like ordeals? Yeah. It's so hard to speak to the person, let alone a friend, or you just don't. It's hard to bring it up.
Yeah, it's true.
It's so hard.
There's been times where
certain man that's their game, like a bit of force, like, and then make girls just feel boxed in, and then that's them.
Yeah, 100%.
That's really them.
Yeah, because that's where I know. Like, I think that's where a lot of people find themselves in situations where it's like the aura of the person makes them feel like they can't say, and that's unfortunate because you know what? Sometimes for certain people, they might have a certain type of aura or a stature or whatever, but if you said it, then actually they might be like, oh nah, okay, cool. They might feel horrible knowing that, right, you actually felt that way. Like I actually thought that this was cool, but you was more scared of me than anything, and so like, I don't know.
The lines get blurred all the time. Like I'm a very confident person. Like one day I can dress like a tomboy, next day I look like a stripper. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm confident in myself. So like sometimes when I dress quite flaunty or whatever, I can see the reaction. My DMs are crazy, and people think they can talk to you some type of way. But I'm the one, I will lecture you in my DMs. Like, like when people DM me like mad hours, like even like after 10 p.m. if I don't know you like that, and the guy tries to message me, I'm like, why are you messaging me at this time? Like I quickly tell you, like and I'm very smiley. I'm whatever. I'm a bit flirty sometimes, but people really run with that sometimes, and it's not that. I'm just a nice, friendly, flirty person sometimes. You know what I'm trying to say? But people get the lines blurred so much these days with Instagram. They think they could just talk to you anyhow, just drop any messages in your DMs, and I'm just thinking to myself, like, I don't know, moving forward, like, I feel sorry for, like, the future generation. Even when I just mentioned the porn thing, how porn's, like, so, like, one of my friends, her son's, like, 14, and she found him looking at crazy porn one time.
Could you imagine, though?
My heart sank, because my son's going to be 11 next week, and I'm just thinking, I don't know what I'll do.
Because they got this, and everything is on this.
I've done parental guidance, and he can't even go on Safari.
Oh, is it?
I know, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, just...
That's true.
I feel like that, and that's... Young people have crazy sex lives, and I'm just like, how?
Do you know why that's why I think these conversations now, even though there are times, I'll be honest with you, there are times I feel like a lot of subjects, deep subjects, whether it's rape, like racism and whatever, there's like certain situations that come up that I feel are overcooked and a bit like there's a little bit too much sauce on this one because of the topic that we're on. But ultimately, maybe it's the best time that these type of things are happening, because you know what, these lot are the younger lot. They're seeing I can't even imagine what it must be like to be 14 years old and get caught in a dark hole. You know when you're on YouTube, and then like before you know it, you watch it. Like sometimes I'll be on YouTube, right, and I'll be watching one video on something. Next minute, like about 45 minutes later, I'm watching a documentary about Saddam Hussein, and you know what I'm saying, bare clicking and that. Imagine on porn now, click, 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 and you is exposed to all this kind of mad stuff, thinking it's normal. Next minute now, his first sexual encounter with a girl is rage.
It's
Like rage. So then there's even more allegations on that. Do you know what I mean?
But like you said, I think it's good that these things are coming out because I feel like more than ever, the awareness on consent and all of that needs to be just re-drilled into people's heads, both sides, women and men. Because I feel like a lot of things have been happening and people feel like it's normal to get away with it. Especially like when you look at things in America, like the strip club culture and just how the American rappers even talk on women. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So with I feel like it's good that all of this is getting highlighted again. The awareness and just people just know like how important it is to just make sure you get consent from a female.
100%.
Now more than ever, I feel moving forward, people are just going to be reporting things left, right and centre now. Because even us as a woman, I know more now. I didn't even know if a man just shoves his dick in your mouth. That's I'm not laughing. That's rape or whatever.
Serious?
You need to check it out. We recorded an episode of our podcast last week.
Like in what context?
There's a whole thing like rape, sexual assault. Was it sexual assault? But April read out everything.
I don't want to be childish, but you see, like when you're I feel like you have to have this. So say like during the sex and that, say like you're having consensual sex, and then you just get up and just go for the thing. Nah, it's not. I don't see that as a mad thing.
I don't see it as a mad thing.
So like you just get up and just go for the dipping, like.
I think once you're already in,
once you're
sex,
okay, all right,
you're good to go. I'm talking about you're busting sleep. Someone just
wake up, yeah. Then before you know, it's on the cheek.
Yeah, that's great.
But sometimes people will do them type of things for like, okay, I need to say this. So
I know
this
some
doesn't
people
get
have.
thick.
Like,
but like you know,
that
for a
type
joke,
of
like so it's not
relationship.
like I'm doing it seriously to put it in your mouth. But you might wake up and it's on your cheek.
Do you know what I
And
mean?
you're just joking.
Like I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm the type to tell like my partner, say he's gone out, whatever, I'm home sleeping, just wake me up. Do you know?
Yeah, I hear that. But
do you know what I mean?
You've told him that though.
Yeah.
So that's why it's cool.
But he could probably even just get away with it anyway.
Yeah, but he could get away with it because you've told him though.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? If you've already kind of let him know that, actually.
But I'm thinking now, if I didn't, if he just came home and just, I wouldn't think nothing mad.
Yeah. But then what if you're not in a good mood?
And that's beef, yeah.
Do you understand what I'm saying? Then it becomes different.
I'm not in the mood, don't.
Yeah, but then he might not know if you're in a mood.
Exactly.
And that's why, you know what? Maybe that's just never a thing to play. Because it's like, yeah, you might be cool with that. But one day I might do it on a day that you're not in that thing. Then before you know it, it's allegations. So it is a weird one still. I don't know. I think, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's a mad one. But yeah, you just need to ask and you need to make sure that your back's covered and all of these things. And that and hopefully you don't get yourself caught up in anything. But I'm glad, I'm seeing bare girls and that coming out and talking about some stuff, and I'm happy for them to do that, and I hope that some of them get the closure that they
100%.
that they need in doing that. On the other side, what happens when the allegation is false?
That's what hurts.
Yeah,
that kills it for everybody.
Repercussions.
There has to be.
Take that.
I feel like there should be serious repercussions because you could ruin someone's whole life.
Yeah.
You know what? You're not just fucking up for the guy you're accusing. You're also fucking up for the other women who have actually been through shit, and then their claims aren't taken
100%.
Seriously, I agree.
And also now, you know what it is? This is idealistic, yeah, but it's if we could change the way that people viewed someone who was accused of something and then was found not guilty, that would be great, but we can't. Because what I mean by that is that we think if someone's been accused of something and then they it turns out that they didn't do it, we still look at them as that. We still look at them as you was the one who was accused of X, Y, and Z.
That's what I was gonna say. Did these allegations ever really come off your name, even if it didn't happen?
No. So
You're always known as that.
Yeah.
It always comes up. It's sad, especially if it didn't happen. Honestly, I feel sorry for anyone whose name's been put on that list or girls have made a false allegation, because it's just sad because you're going to be explaining yourself forever.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's a catch-22 on top of that too, because see with the courts and that, if you're going for a case more time, they don't show the girl's face. Yeah. So if he busts the case now, they've already shown his face.
His face has been in media associated with that.
Yeah, and
so
then
but they don't show her face. For a job interview, they may search his name, which they often do, and
the sex offenders
shit.
register is not to be played with. Moving house, schools, even when you start having kids, it affects you.
Everything, every rascal,
everything. So girls and guys need to be really careful, especially if it didn't happen and you're really, really making it up. Honestly, I think there should be serious repercussions.
Yeah, man. And it's mad for anyone who's ever found themselves in a situation like that, because you probably feel like you can never. Everyone's looking at you sideways. Do you get me? Everyone's looking at you sideways, and then how do you even deal with that? Because it's like, if you expose the person who did that, then people who actually had been through things might be scared to come forward and talk about certain things because of, like, they don't want to be baited out, and then what happens if it doesn't? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
More. Do you know what? More than anything, though, just to close this up a little bit, I think more than anything, I actually feel that, like, them need to, like, have conversations amongst themselves about, like, stuff that we actually thought was okay, but we now know you can't really do that. Do you know what I mean? There's bare things that I grew up thinking, like, man, people used to say to me,
like what?
Okay, so there was one year where it was like, if you got a girl, if you like having sexual situation with a girl or whatever, yeah. And let me just make this clear: this is not me. This is not coming from me. So if you take this as a clip or whatever, this is not coming from. It's not something that I have partaked in, but I'm just letting you know about a mentality that them kind of had at a point or whatever. Yeah, boom. You're with a girl. You're kissing and doing whatever. Yeah, but it doesn't seem as though really that she's on the having sex thing. But it's like, if you get your finger on the clit, then more time it's a win.
Okay, that stuff can change. You can start off not being on it, and then someone can make you on it.
Yeah, but then is it the mentality in which you're going, like, if you're thinking in your head, right, she doesn't want to do it, but all I need to do is get my thing here, that's where it becomes the issue. If you are none the wiser, but you're just doing your thing and your hand just so happens to be there, and then that changes, then that's, you can't be, there can't be an allegation for that. But if you go there with the mindset of thinking, right, she don't really want to have sex with me
it's like
today.
guys that only want to link girls when they're drunk, or I'll pick you up after the party, or that's come mine, what do you want to drink? I'm going to get Ray and Nephew, kill a drink like Ray and Nephew. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like you have your motive already in your head type of thing, let me get a wave, then it's a bit easier.
But girls are on that too, though. If you ever go out with a girl, to a bar or whatnot, and you tell the girl, you know, I'm not even drinking. What?
Obviously, the drink helps everything, innit?
What do you mean you're not drinking? You both have to be drinking. Do you get me?
Yeah.
I know, man. Them definitely think that if you go out with a girl to a bar or whatever, and you know what I mean, you've spoke about going to a bar, and then she says she's not drinking, then there's something in your mind that's like, right, this night's not going to be as lit as I thought it was going to be. That's kind of problematic still.
No.
Do you get me? Like, why, innit? But we both, let's not get this twisted, we both do that. Well, not we, but that's not a man thing. That's girls as well. Even with the sex, do you know how much girls have just, like, in school or outside college and all of these things, just grabbed man thing and that?
Yeah.
And there's been times where I haven't been on it, to be honest with you. You know, like, I don't want to have sex today.
See?
I don't want to have sex today, but I'm made to feel like I have to.
Because I asked that question, do men...
What?
Sit you with the consent with the man? Because if the girl is 10 out of 10...
Nah, there's
does
times,
it matter?
What do you mean?
If, like, Beyonce, Rihanna's sticking on you, you're not on it. Are you really going to say
Nah,
no?
I mean,
or if it's someone that you just don't, you're not on it like that.
There needs to be more context, though.
Yeah. So
it's like if we meet, say I'm with Rihanna, and like we've been chopping.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to chop. Like we're linking, but I don't really want to
chop today.
Yeah, I'm not really on that. Like, I don't really want to do that today.
She's like, Chucky, seriously, I need to see into you now.
Then it's like, if I'm just not in the vibe, I'm not in the vibe. But I'm not. This is a conversation for another day, definitely. Yeah, but there was one time where a girl made me feel mad for not wanting to do it. Yeah, to the point now where like, I'm like trying to get myself in the vibe to do it, and I'm not even in the vibe. The girl, started, when I tell you, she was going mad, like mad. But I'm not going to tell that story today. I'll tell it another day because it's a long one and it's a deep one still.
Yeah, some people would go mad.
Yeah. Well, it's your bruise to your ego, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think we can usually take a girl say. Actually, I don't know because there's rape in it. But sometimes we could be more easier with saying, you know what? All right, cool. She's not really on it. But like, whenever you tell a girl, you know, I don't want to. Like, I just come to link you and just chill. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Next minute now, she's lying on the bed and she's sticking out her batty on, man.
My partner
the
now,
batty, you can feel the bum. You know when you can feel the bum cheek
he used to do that
line.
to me all the time when we first started
Is
I
it?
think he was trying to prove to me that I'm not just on you for that.
Yeah.
So he was dating for a minute, and I was thinking, fucking.
Nah, when he's gonna put it on, man?
Honestly. But I thought, okay, I'll just be patient.
Yeah. Don't worry, man.
And it was probably me in the end, to be fair.
Huh?
It was probably me that probably.
Next week you can feel the bum cheek
Honestly.
line on the. Yeah, and you're like, okay, you're trying to sleep now. Next minute it's bare this. And that.
Wait,
lots of
You know what I'm saying?
Lots of movement.
The leg
This is
twitches
what I
over.
do, yeah.
Leg comes over.
Wait, the leg.
Hand on the chest.
Legit,
Oh, wow.
I think I look like that when I'm in bed, you know.
So you all flipping. You might even try like, okay, cool. You're gonna hug her now, innit? But you got your hand around the stomach, and then she just like pulls it on the.
Honestly.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's me to the T, boy.
But if that's the other way around, though.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? You're not really
I'm
on it, and then I'm
sorry.
like, listen,
hand,
the hand, yeah. Like, so what I'm doing is I'm just thingying it now, and then putting the hand on
But
it. Do you understand what I'm saying? You got the hand now, and just, you know what I'm saying?
Wake up, something's just there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my days.
One of the nose. I don't know. Poet.